With the gameplay reveal of Spider-Man 2 showing us the first footage of how symbiotic Venom Spider-Man is going to look in the game, and it's looking totally awesome, I think it's a perfect time to talk about Marvel symbiotes, Venom in particular. The internet loves coming up with what-if stories and drawing fan art of different characters getting the Venom symbiote, but I don't think anyone has really talked about how powerful these characters would actually become if they were to actually bond with the Clintaran alien. So today, we will discuss what would happen if Goku became bonded with a symbiote, and more importantly, how powerful he would become. Would it be a pointless addition to his power, or could it replace all of his transformations entirely? Let's find out. To begin, I think it's important to cover what exactly symbiotes are before covering what they can do, and how powerful they might be. The symbiotes are an artificial alien race created by the being known as Null, the King in Black, who honestly requires an entirely separate video just to himself to explain how powerful he is. But long story short, they are a race that can bond with any living thing, and even technology, giving them far more strength than before. They ultimately do this to eventually bond with the wearer permanently, feeding off their emotions and adrenaline produced by their body in order to sustain themselves. Venom in particular is a unique symbiote due to essentially cutting himself off from the hive mind of Null and the planet of symbiotes, and from producing many different multicolored children of his own throughout the long history of Marvel, most notably being the red symbiote Carnage. Aside from the power boost the symbiote gives, symbiotes give numerous other abilities like shapeshifting, invisibility, enhanced senses, regeneration, as well as a litany of other random abilities that include being able to transfer yourself into the internet and fight as a digital avatar in cyberspace. Comic books can be really weird sometimes. Scaling Venom's strength is not 100% easy as maybe with other characters, as the strength of both the Venom symbiote, the people he's bonding with, and the people that he is fighting are always changing all the time, usually increasing by different amounts. Especially in recent years, Venom went from a character who was a threat to maybe the street level beings of the Marvel Universe to now being one of the most powerful single entities in the entire Marvel Universe. For most of this video, we'll be looking at the feats of both Eddie Brock's fusion with Venom, as well as Peter Parker with Venom, as they provide the greatest amount of information regarding the strength of the symbiote and what it is capable of. So, how strong is Venom? Even before much of his strength progression had occurred, Spider-Man directly states that Venom is essentially just himself, but more powerful in every single way. This means that already Venom can turn a normal human into someone superior to Spider-Man. While Spider-Man's strength feats are all over the place, he has consistently scaled above the likes of Dr. Octopus's arms, which could withstand the force of an island-destroying nuclear explosion. This is even more consistent given how Spider-Man is relative or straight up superior to many of Iron Man's armors, with vastly inferior armors being capable of tanking nearly continent-level attacks without any visible damage. The question becomes if Venom is a multiplier or just like an addition to a user's strength. However, the multiplicative interpretation seems to be correct, as Eddie considers Spider-Man with the symbiote to be vastly superior than the sum of Venom and Spider-Man teaming up. If Venom is simply an additive boost, then his belief in this would not be correct. But this is also somewhat contradicted by even the symbiote itself, without any host, being able to match Spider-Man in strength. But this could simply be due to the fact that their strengths continue to both develop over time. So I can definitely interpret it either way, and unfortunately, from what I've seen, no direct answer has been given to which it is. This already means, though, that a normal human, when fusing with the Venom symbiote, becomes approximately quintillions of times more powerful to go from athlete level to large island level. Even lowballing Spider-Man to something like large building level arbitrarily would still make an average human 130 million times more powerful when using the Venom symbiote. However, the strength growth of Venom is only just beginning. Fast forwarding a couple years from the era of evil Venom, we reach the time period of Superior Spider-Man and Agent Venom. The symbiote is stronger than ever before at this point, and after forcibly bonding with the symbiote, Spider-Man eventually comes to conflict with the Avengers after losing control. Notably, Thor is in the lineup. During this conflict, Venomized Spider-Man absolutely thrashes the Avengers, confidently calling himself superior to Thor and pretty much everyone there, while proving it when he outboxes him multiple times, while still fighting every other Avenger at once. For reference, Spider-Man throwing a flurry of punches couldn't even make Loki flinch, while Thor could break his arm with a tap. But now, how much stronger is Thor? Can we actually quantify this difference? Even at this point, Thor is considered to be equal and more powerful than the likes of Sentry, who could battle Galactus to a standstill. This is consistent as later versions of Thor are shown able to seriously harm and even beat Galactus outright. This is insanely impressive, as Galactus and characters on his level of strength, like Odin, are outright stated to be capable of creating or destroying the entire Marvel multiverse if they wanted to. But the symbiote strength does not even end there. In the storyline Absolute Carnage, a godly version of Carnage is able to thrash and easily defeat Immortal Hulk, who was bonded with a symbiote at the time. This Immortal Hulk had just recently completely bodied the entire Avengers lineup, including Thor. Eddie Brock proceeds to bond with the symbiote once again and literally one-shot this version of Carnage, putting him almost casually above multiversal threats. So finally we get to Goku, and for the most part, you've probably heard this all before. Even before the end of Dragon Ball Z, Goku was fighting against universe-threatening characters whose power could bring about the end of the Dragon Ball universe and potentially its other parallel universe-sized realms. By the time of Battle of Gods, Goku was capable of destroying the entire collection of realms with only a couple of punches. While it's hard to exactly quantify, over the next series of arcs, Goku's strength grows tens, hundreds, thousands, millions, or even billions of times more powerful, as he both unlocks new forms and repeatedly surpasses his previous peaks of power while in his base form. So, how much stronger would Goku get with the Venom symbiote? Well, it definitely depends how far along its strength growth the symbiote is. If it's early on and doesn't provide a multiplicative boost, then it's likely that the symbiote would only be helpful during the very early stages of Dragon Ball before Goku just surpasses Island level outright at some point between the 22nd and 23rd Budokai. However, the later, more modern versions of Venom would likely skyrocket Goku's power to higher levels than anything that's been witnessed before in Dragon Ball. Like I mentioned before, Venom turned normal humans and island-level characters into being stronger than multiversal threats. Even if Goku didn't transform with the symbiote, it would already be a higher multiplier than Mastered Ultra Instinct or any possible fusion. This raises the question, would Goku use the symbiote? All this power is great, but if he chooses not to use it, then it wouldn't matter. And honestly, I think it's completely situational. Goku would very likely use Venom if there was a threat big enough that he deemed his own power incapable of defeating it, like in situations where he chose to fuse with Vegeta or use the Spirit Bomb, and B, Goku is aware that the symbiote is a sentient being and far enough along in its development that it can speak telepathically to Goku. Thus, Goku would probably be more willing to use it and seeing it more like teaming up rather than cheating. So, Goku just wouldn't use this on a whim, but in any situation against, say, like Frieza or Zamasu or Super Buu, Goku might pick up the Venom symbiote. Aside from the power Goku would get from all the natural enhancements and new hacks abilities that a symbiote gives, none of his own abilities would be limited, as Venom does not hinder and even improves natural powers that the user already has. Either way, Symbiote Goku was already hands down the most powerful Dragon Ball character in canon, and would probably be one of the most powerful characters in really any fiction, even more so than he already was. If you made it this far, thank you so much for watching. I think a lot of you are probably surprised about how insanely powerful Venom is in the Marvel Universe, so I hope you guys all enjoy it. Of course, if you disagree with my takes, let me know how I'm wrong in the comments down below. See ya!